You don't have the luxury of staying where you are. You've been here long enough. And the only way you're going to get out of this prison that you've made yourself is if you learn the art of self-discipline.
Jeff Bezos said you can have a job, you can have a career, or you can have a calling. And he says if you can find that calling, bam, everything begins to change.
If you are listening to me and you are not where you are supposed to be financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, then what you have done thus far has not served you. And if it has, it has brought you as far as you're going to go. You will not live forever in this world. Not this world. At some point, you are going to die. And what will you leave behind? This paradigm, this operating system that you are going to have to break out of, it's our inputs, the content that we are consuming that determines our output. Everything you see in your tangible world, most of the time, the poverty that we experience is a symptom of something that has happened on the inside of us. You say, Marcus, I'm afraid to take the leap of faith. I'm afraid to take action. I'm afraid to move forward. You should be terrified to stay where you are. In the game of life, in the realm of accomplishing something, there will be fear, there will be some hesitation. You may want to think about it for a moment. But after a while, you gotta take action. You gotta take a leap of faith. Either you die where you are standing, or you make a decision to move forward. You got one life to live. It's time to get it done. Are you tired of just thinking about it? It's time to listen. It's time to focus. Man, let's go. It's time. It's time to pull that energy from fear. Pull that energy away from doubt, out of anxiety. If you're gonna get it done, I need you to listen and focus. I don't know who you are, where you're from, but get it done. Over the course of my life, I've come to realize that in order to get things done, there's some things I've got to get over. If it's going to happen, we are going to have to eliminate excuses. Truth is, everybody's got purpose. If you don't apply what you hear, you won't get what you want. Here's what we do know. Life doesn't get any easier. It doesn't get more forgiving. We just get stronger and we get more resilient. Are you tired of just thinking about it? It's time to listen. It's time to focus. I'm talking to that single mother. I'm talking to that broken father. I'm talking to that widow. I'm talking to the one who lost a brother. I'm talking to the person who lost their mother, who lost their father, who almost lost their mind, with tears in your eyes, with no money in your pocket, behind bars. I don't know who you are, where you're from, but get it done. The question is, how bad do you want this? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to let go of some things? Are you willing to put the work in? Are you ready to be consistent? Today marks the first day of the best days of your life. It is time to stop tiptoeing, stop straddling the fence, stop dating the idea that you can be successful, and it's time to get married to it. Get married to it, get committed, get all in. You keep dating it, you keep thinking about it, you keep talking about it. Be the anomaly. Be the one who can step into a room and shift the atmosphere with a confidence and a resilience and a grit because you put the work in. When nobody was paying attention, you paid the price. It is possible to fully commit yourself to something. It is possible to accomplish what you see in your head, to hold it in your hand. It is possible. The question is, can you give your all? One day I just woke up and I told myself I would never be broke or broken again. But let's be honest, a lot of what we do
is for the attention of everybody. I'm thinking to myself, when are we gonna do this thing? Because we're just called to do it. I don't need to impress you. Are we understanding this? I need to acknowledge what they did, what they said, what they did not do, how they lied, how they punctured, how they fractured. This is a command to leave your past behind. This is a charge to you in this moment to let it go. You gotta let it go.
I think it's really the understanding the power of your dream. You got a dream to buy a house. You got a dream for better relationships. You got a dream to win a fight. You got a dream to get your family out of the hood. You got a dream to lose weight. I mean, whatever that dream is, whatever you have, that goal, that improbable feat, once you get it set, once you smell that, once you get a feel for it, a taste of it, and the underdog is an individual who refuses to live in the dark. They refuse to remain in obscurity. They refuse to live in stress and overwhelm and anxiety. They are somebody who is tired. Like when you come to the end of yourself, you gotta get tired. Like you have to get tired. Something inside of you has to snap. You gotta get tired of being broke. When you get tired of being coined the loser, being coined not enough, being overlooked and undervalued and underpaid, you gotta get tired of that. When you get tired, that's when you win. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. In any facet of life, in every arena you walk in, there's pie. And the thing is that pie doesn't get any bigger. The pie never gets any bigger. It's the disciplined, desperate, dangerous mentality of an individual that says, I'm gonna push whoever I gotta push out of my way to get my piece of the pie. Because the pie doesn't get any bigger and the pie does not pursue you. You have to go after it. So whatever it is that you're going after, whatever it is you feel as though you've been destined to do, are you willing to push whoever, whatever, out of your way to get your piece of the pie, to get your piece? Because the pie's not getting any bigger. When we talk about a dog mentality, the dog scrambles, the dog barks, the dog runs after whatever it wants. When a dog is hungry, move out of his way, because it's coming for blood. The reason why you don't have what you want is because you are not hungry enough. Pain is inevitable and it is unavoidable. And when we talk about this underdog mentality, the underdog is just a man or a woman who has made up their mind. They are no longer going to live in their setbacks. They are no longer going to live in your reality. Your reality of me says I'm not enough. Your reality of me says I can't do this. Your reality of me says you won't finish today. My reality says all I have is all I need. I'm not living in my setback any longer. I'm moving forward.
Every single day somebody's doing something you're not willing to do to secure the future. And so when you go into the day with that mindset, that list will shrink. The list of people that are outworking you, it'll shrink. So you gotta dedicate to creative time. You need an army to fulfill destiny. So you gotta be connected. You gotta grow your network. And all that you do, and your failures and your successes, learn from them. Note takers are the money makers. Hustlers take notes. It's difficult to manifest what is not written down. Put me in a room with 100 people. I'm gonna take more notes than them. I'm gonna listen better. I'm gonna have more fun. I'm gonna learn more. I'm gonna talk less. Stop waiting to feel like it. Stop waiting until you see it. Stop waiting for somebody to come and save you. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's coming with the resource. Sometimes you gotta become resourceful. Nobody's gonna be able to pull you out of the murky water, out of this muddy, bloody, painful, miserable place that you're in. You're gonna have to make up your mind. Enough is enough. I'm getting out of this place, and I got stuff to do. I've got assignments to finish. I've got a destiny to fulfill. I am sick and tired. I'm no longer willing to tolerate this place of misery and pain. I don't know what your goal is, but oftentimes it is not easy. I'm just wondering,
if you can hear my voice, if you are tired of where you are, if you are tired of not hitting your targets, if you are tired of not being aimed and intentional and assertive and consistent, if you can hear my voice, I'm just wondering if you are bold enough, daring enough, if your faith is outrageous enough to take a chance on yourself. Let the world reject you. Let the world close doors on you. Let the world tell you no. I'm just wondering, can you dig deep inside yourself the future? The future belongs to the hardest worker in the room. A wise man once said, it's always impossible until it's done. So get it done.
If you're going to manifest in your hands what you see in your head, then you're going to have the courage, the confidence, the self-belief, and the self-determination to go out every single day and make it happen. If you have to listen to this 1,000 times, understand how hustlers are wired, the psychology of a champion. Really dishonored, disrespected, somebody who has lost everything, who people stop believing in. It's a very desperate person. They're climbing a hill. They're trying to achieve a dream. And when you are desperate, you are very dangerous. And a dangerous man or woman is somebody who is a disruptor. They don't play by the rules. They are coming for blood. So if you're listening to me right now, and there's anything in your life that is defeating you, if there's anything in your life that seems like an improbable feat, you gotta smell blood. Once you get that scent like a hound dog, you get that scent, you see what is possible, you see what you are capable of. In the face of adversity, in the face of challenges, in the face of everybody that says you are not enough, you're not tall enough, you're not big enough, you're not wide enough, you're not fast enough, it's in that very moment that the dreams gotta get bigger than the disappointment, than the fear, than the anxiety, than the stress, than the overwhelm. It's got to get bigger, the dream. Once that dream gets bigger and you get a scent for that dream, you start to smell that dream. There's nothing on planet Earth that can stop you. You become armed and dangerous. You are the most dangerous individual on planet Earth.
When you doubt the underdog, it's like music to his ears. Tell me I'm not good enough. Tell me I'm not strong enough. Tell me I won't finish. There is this intrinsic emotion, this instinct. You have just awakened the lion in me. Like I said before, it could be financial, could be relational, could be mental, spiritual, physical, your health. When you come to the end of this version of you and you let go of the pain from the past and you stop waiting to feel like it, stop waiting for the conditions to be perfect. They're never gonna be perfect. They're never gonna be perfect. They're never gonna be perfect. You're not gonna always feel like it. You're not gonna always see it. You're not gonna always have a resource. You're not gonna always have a handout. The question is, how bad do you want this? How bad do you want this? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to let go of some things? Are you willing to put the work in? Are you ready to be consistent? Are you tired of this version of yourself? The prize goes to the hardest worker in the room. You just know you have to outwork everybody in the room. You gotta put the work in after hours. You're not wasting your time being entertained. You're not wasting your time watching TV all day. You're not wasting your time complaining about what you don't have. The hustler has already come to the conclusion that if they don't have something, they have to become. The hustler moves in a different realm of wisdom, a different realm of application. They're going after it. Everything that they have is on the table.
This is the last day you are going to allow this giant to defy you.
If it's going to happen, we are going to have to eliminate excuses. Truth is, everybody's got purpose. If you don't apply what you hear, you won't get what you want. Here's what we do know. Life doesn't get any easier. It doesn't get more forgiving. We just get stronger and we get more resilient. And the truth of the matter is, it is so convenient to make an excuse. I want to give you just a few things that you can do to help you to stop making excuses.
to help you to stop habitually gravitating to the place called convenience. The race is not given to the strong nor the swift, but it is given to he that endureth until the end. One thing I know is that we've all been hit with a measure of adversity at some point in our life. Everybody listening to me has been hit with a measure of trauma. If you can hear my voice, you've got work to do. You've got a destiny to fulfill. You've got a purpose to walk into. You've got a test to pass. You've got dots to connect, rooms to walk in, stages to stand on, and tables to sit down at.
I know it hasn't been easy, but it's time to win. You are going to need vision. Before you win, you're going to have to see it. David saw himself winning this battle. He saw it, he spoke it, he experienced it. If you can see it, you can have it.
We all want to do something. We all want to be somebody. We all want to go somewhere. If these things are going to happen, we've got to stop habitually gravitating to excuse. Rule number one, kill the comparison game. Well, I don't do it like them, and I don't say it like them, and I'm not as tall as them, and I'm not as strong as them, and I don't have the money that they have. I don't have the resources that they have. The reason why I couldn't do it is because my parents weren't there for me, and the reason why I didn't get to go to college on a full ride because my coach, he didn't create the highlight reel for the sports scholarship. The reason why, and so we're just programmed to blame everybody else. When will you look in the mirror and stop comparing yourself to everybody else?
This is what we know. We know this. Could have been a sudden or unexpected death of a loved one. Could have been an accident, life-threatening illness or injury, sexual assault, mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional trauma, sudden violent death in the family, the loss of a child, the loss of a loved one, the loss of a job, exposure to drugs and alcohol, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety. One thing we know is that adversity, conflict, trauma does not discriminate. We are all acquainted with pain. Many of you listening to me know what it's like to lose everything. You know what it's like to hit rock bottom. You know what it's like not to be supported. You know what it's like to be lied on. You know what it's like to experience emotional, relational, and psychological trauma. And it changes you because you don't know what you are made of until you have gone through something.
On the other side of your fear is a fulfilled destiny. How bad do you want it? Whatever your giant may be, name the giant. You will defy me no more. You will defy me no more. When your giant defies you, when your giant teases you, when your giant attempts to trap you and remind you of your present and your past, remind your giant of its future. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. No more will you haunt me. Goliath is dead. In this life, there will always be obstacles. There will always be challenges. There will always be giants. What has defeated you? What is your giant? Name it. Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it insecurity? Is it doubt? In this life, there will always be a man, a woman, who will face impossible odds.
Goliath! There will be many giants in your life. There will be depression. There will be anxiety. There will be oppression. There will be stress. There will be overwhelm. Will you buckle under the pressure or will you rise to the occasion?
They don't have an end game. They don't have a goal. You have allowed yourself to become a weak link covered under the blanket of excuses. But I'm just wondering if there's anybody here that has a dream. And if you've made your excuses bigger than your dream, the time is now to apply pressure. I don't know your name, but I know you have a dream. I don't know where you're from or where you're listening to me. You may be listening to me in your closet, your bedroom, the gym, the car, the bus, the train, the plane. I don't know where you're going, but I know you are going somewhere. You've got a destination. People that make excuses are not connected to their destination. If you are going to defeat your giant, if you are going to defy the odds, if you're going to remove the lids and the labels, if you are going to step and venture into uncharted territory, you are going to have to master the art of rising early. There will be times in your life where you are going to have to face giants that nobody will face. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 32, and David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with the Philistine. David had already had it made up in his mind. David was fully persuaded that he would defeat the Philistine. And for many of you, you will never have your future until you are fully persuaded that you are a carrier of everything required to fulfill your destiny. If nobody believes in you, you gotta make it up in your mind that all you have is all you need. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he is a man of war from his youth. It's interesting to me because David was doubted by a king. David was doubted by a man that was a carrier of the disease called fear. And there are going to be people who are going to attempt to talk you out of your destiny. They will attempt to talk you out of your dream. They will tell you that your dream is too big. They will tell you that your destiny cannot be fulfilled. They will tell you it is impossible to accomplish what you have set out to accomplish.